The iQOO Z7 Pro is one of the best all-round packages that you can buy in India right now for under 25,000 rupees. It has a good design, the display is top-notch, the performance is impressive, and the camera is reliable. However, one phone that we don't really talk about much in this segment, and it has the ability to steal the thunder from the iQOO Z7 Pro, is this phone right here. This is the Lava Agni 2. This phone is equally as impressive. It has an attractive design, it has a vibrant display, and it also gives you relatively good performance. And so, if you may ask, in between the two phones, if performance and endurance are the two key factors for you while getting a new smartphone, which out of these two should you buy? Well, that's what we are here to find out in this video. Hello everyone, I'm here for Fiiber, and this is the 6-hour battery and performance test comparison between two of the heavyweights in the sub 25,000 rupees price segment, the iQOO Z7 Pro versus the Lava Agni 2. Now of course, before we get on with the rest of the video, consider hitting that red subscribe button for detailed tech videos, and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. With that said, let's get started. So first up, here's a quick look at the key specifications of both smartphones, and quite a bit of similarities here. In fact, the only big difference that I can point out here between both phones is the chipset. On paper, the 4nm Dimensity 7200 chipset is the superior one to the 6nm Dimensity 7050 chip. But in the real world, can the iQOO Z7 Pro with its Dimensity 7200 chipset prove to be superior than the Lava Agni 2 and its 7050 chipset? Well, let's see. As always, we start off by booting both devices, and the Lava Agni 2 is the first one to start up. So both the iQOO Z7 Pro and Lava Agni 2 are connected to the same Wi-Fi network. Brightness and audio are set at 50%, adaptive brightness is disabled, 120Hz is enabled, the screen color mode is set to vivid, and of course, both phones are 100% charged. So time and again in the iQOO Z7 Pro's review and in comparisons, I have always mentioned how nicely tuned and vibrant the AMOLED display looks. Actually, the Lava Agni 2's AMOLED display is also quite vibrant, and it is really very difficult to pick a winner here. In terms of specifications and features, both are well equipped. There's 120Hz refresh rate, HDR 10+ video playback support, 10-bit colors, and wideband L1 support. However, one area where the iQOO Z7 Pro does have the edge is in terms of peak brightness, which is 1300 nits versus 950 nits on the Lava Agni 2. And unless and until you're not using your phone under harsh sunlight, you are not going to notice any major differences between both panels. But in usual conditions, indoor situations, you can't go wrong with either display here. In fact, if I have to nitpick, the Lava Agni 2's display is a tad bit more saturated than the one on the iQOO Z7 Pro. Overall, both phones have good displays, and whether you go for iQOO or Lava, you should not be disappointed. Granted, your preference falls towards vibrant and colorful panels. And with that, we are done with the 2 hours of YouTube video playback, and right now the Lava Agni 2 has taken the lead with 88% battery left, while the iQOO Z7 Pro is right behind with 87% battery left. So let's now record an hour of 1080p videos, and while both phones are at it, here's a quick look at the camera specifications. The iQOO Z7 Pro features a 64-megapixel primary rear camera with OIS coupled with a 2-megapixel depth sensor and a 16-megapixel front-facing snapper for selfies. For videos, the rear camera supports up to 4K 30fps recording, while the front supports up to 1080p 30fps recording. The Lava Agni 2 on the other hand features a 50-megapixel primary rear camera paired with an 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera, a couple of 2-megapixel depth and macro cameras, and a 16-megapixel snapper for selfies. Similar to the iQOO Z7 Pro, the Lava Agni 2 also supports up to 4K 30fps recording from the rear and up to 1080p 30fps recording from the front. Here are some of the comparison photos of both the iQOO Z7 Pro and the Lava Agni 2 on your screens. And now, to know in depth about the camera performance of both smartphones, be sure to check out the individual reviews. Both are live on the channels. For now, we are done with an hour of 1080p video recording on both phones, and as we also witnessed in the iQOO Z7 Pro versus Note CE3's battery comparison, that the iQOO Z7 Pro has the tendency to take a hit when it comes to the camera usage. And in this round also, it took quite a hit. The iQOO Z7 Pro is right now left with 65% battery, while the Lava Agni 2 is still in the lead with 74% battery left. Okay, it is now time for benchmarks, and we start with Geekbench 6. First up, the specifications. The iQOO Z7 Pro is powered by the 4nm Dimensity 7200 SoC with 8GB RAM and a choice of 128GB or 256GB storage. The Lava Agni 2 on the other hand is powered by the 6nm Dimensity 7050 chipset with 8GB RAM and 256GB storage. Now comparing the Geekbench 6 scores of both phones, and for sub 25,000 rupees devices, both the iQOO Z7 Pro and Lava Agni 2 scored quite well. The iQOO did score better and in the real world also, while performing different tasks also. The iQOO Z7 Pro does feel slightly faster, be it app opening times or animations or transitions. Overall, as I said, the iQOO Z7 Pro feels slightly faster than the Agni 2. Even in Antutu 2 also, the iQOO Z7 Pro scored significantly better than the Lava Agni 2. In fact, the GPU score of the Z7 Pro turned out about 70,000 more than that of the Agni 2, which is a lot. And this dominance from the iQOO Z7 Pro also showed in the 3D Mark benchmark, which is a simulated 20 minutes extensive gaming benchmark. Stability wise, both phones scored about 99%, which is excellent, quite stable performance. However, the iQOO was able to render smoother graphics at almost double the average loop score of the Lava Agni 2. Finally, in the CPU throttle test, the Lava Agni 2 posted a solid 88% score, but once again, just as we witnessed in the Z7 Pro versus Not C3 battery test video as well, the iQOO Z7 Pro once again detected no throttling at all, and the graph is proof of that. Have to give it to the good thermals of the iQOO Z7 Pro. Now here's a breakdown of the benchmarks on your screens right now. You can pause and take a look. Okay, now before we head on to the gaming round, here's a quick look at the battery statistics. So the Lava Agni 2 is still in the lead with 54% battery left, while the iQOO Z7 Pro is currently left with 45% battery. Now the solid benchmark scores of the iQOO Z7 Pro also translate to the real world, and it totally shows in gaming sessions. First up, the iQOO Z7 Pro supports 120 FPS in COD mobile, something that the Lava Agni 2 does not. But even without that, for the most part, both phones are able to run games like Call of Duty Mobile or this one on your screens, Asphalt 9 Legends, without a hiccup. Where the iQOO Z7 Pro does have the advantage is during long gaming sessions, where the Z7 Pro shows a very good hold when it comes to thermal management. The Lava Agni 2 on the other hand does not get alarmingly hot, but during long sessions of gaming it does get quite a bit warm, and time and again because of that, stutters and frame drops do get a bit prominent here and there. Again, the Lava Agni 2 overall performs quite well, but when it comes to the gaming and thermal management, overall the iQOO Z7 Pro is definitely a better phone. Anyway, for now, a quick look at the battery statistics after 5 hours, and the Lava Agni 2 is still in the lead with 40% battery left, while the iQOO Z7 Pro is now left with 28% battery. Okay, social media time, and so for an hour from here, I will be playing a bunch of reels, but yes, without keeping you waiting for the final minute, fast forwarding to the 6 hours mark, and as expected, looking at what's going on until now, the Lava Agni 2 finishes at top with 28% battery left, while the iQOO Z7 Pro wraps it up with 19% battery left. Here's an hour-by-hour breakdown of the battery drain of both smartphones on your screens right now, and analyzing the results of both phones. Having almost the same battery capacity, it is no doubt that the iQOO Z7 Pro isn't the most battery efficient while using the camera, but when it comes to clicking photos and videos, there's also no doubt that the Z7 Pro does have the edge over the Lava Agni 2. And otherwise, if we look at the other rounds apart from the camera round, both phones scored pretty much in line with each other. So in practicality, if you are someone who wants a little more out of the device than general performance, if you want a better phone for gaming, and if you want a phone with better thermals between the two, the iQOO Z7 Pro is surely the better pick here. But what do you guys think about the iQOO Z7 Pro and the Lava Agni 2, and what do you think about this battery and performance test? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Till then, thank you for watching and take care of yourself.